What's up, guys? What's going on? It's a beautiful day, and I'm just really close to the porch next to me, and there were some people out there just a second ago, so I can't, I can yell and rant, sometimes like I usually do, so. Let's see. Today, what's up, Delaney? You on? Alright, I got some cats around me. That means it's time to start. The cats have gathered. Okay. Is anybody watching the NBA finals? Anybody? I know people are. But by you watching them, I question why. Okay, I watched the Super Bowl by myself in my apartment in New York. I got a whole bunch of food and I had a little party for myself, a little Super Bowl party. And the whole night, I probably watched a couple minutes of football. The rest of the time, I was on my phone. I just was disinterested. But what does the NBA have to offer? Because when I watch the Super Bowl, I watch it a lot of times for the commercials. It's like that's the big thing for me. And I just wanted to see the ridiculousness of them. And I remember literally that night, right before in the afternoon of the Super Bowl day, I talked with the girl at this like networking event, and she works in advertising at like a big advertising agency in New York. And I just asked her about these ads, about the ads that have kind of flopped before, like the Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, or these cats might be fighting, or the cat was gagging. Just like ads like that, and just curious on her opinion. And that whole industry, advertising, I'm just like, there's no judgment here. I just question, knowing the things maybe not everybody knows all the stuff that I talk about on here, but why would you continue to work in that field when you know that it's promoting products that aren't the best? And I can't lie, I had Domino's last night. I ordered that shit and I was like, why did I do this? Oh, here come my sister. Here come my sister. Oh, she's not here. She doesn't have her face on. She can't show it.
You folded my laundry.
What?
You folded my laundry.
Yeah, girl. I was like, I like folding towels. Let me fold this. So, yeah, it was a very interesting conversation that I had with her about advertising. Are you watching?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the viewer.
Okay. Shout out Delaney to me and my number one viewer. Yeah, so it was a very interesting conversation with her being in advertising. Again, like, I can't blame people for having good jobs. It's like people who work in the military, and I have a friend who works like with defense contracting. I think it's odd. But she's a good person in a dirty industry. And it's like maybe there are those people who step in and do the right thing for the sake of humanity. But I don't think this girl was that. She said Beyonce many times was her Lord and Savior. So, so anyway, that's what the Super Bowl offers is ads, the commercials. But the NBA Finals, and you gotta watch it probably 7 times. And just to think that sports is not completely rigged nowadays. Like, I've just seen so many videos of symbolism and, people already, saying who's going to win because of the scripting. And it's just like, even kind of joking about that and then it being a possibility, you've lost me. You've lost me. I wasn't in it for it to be just a game. I don't even like to watch replays of football games. Like, if I missed a Super Bowl, I missed a Super Bowl. If I missed a game, I missed a game. I'm not going to go next day. Actually, you know what? A couple times I've done that. But I don't like it. A couple times I have. It's nice sometimes to put on the background while you're like cooking or something, and that's what I would do. I don't think I would ever actually sit down and watch it. But now that it's, probably scripted, I'm like, I don't care about it anymore. And then I see the posts of Timothy Chalamet. I guess this is only relevant if your feed is my feed or similar. But it's just, these photos of Timothy Chalamet being at the game, and then all these celebrities being at the game, but mostly Timothy Chalamet. And it's like, why? Why is he just being featured so much? That's where my mind goes every single time. Why? Why am I being shown this? Why are you telling me this? Because it just feels like it's never an accident. So, I saved some things. For Nick's, content that I just wanted to watch. And let's see. Sorry, there's kind of noise in the back. Okay, well, here is one thing. Alright. Make it bigger. So, Knicks Game 3 will have Secret Service level lockdown tonight. Like, this feels more and more dystopian. And, the biggest events that you're a who's who if you go, Hunger Games style shit, that you have to go through these serious Secret Service level lockdowns. Is it to inflate the importance of this? Is it for a serious security measure? Or are they telling us that somebody is threatening already to do something at these games? Now, I don't even like to put something like that out there, but why this? Especially with these big events, I question, why do they need Secret Service level lockdown tonight? And that's probably what they want me to do. Or maybe they want me to just be like, man, I wish I was at that game. I don't. So here's a security wall. So just kind of an annoying thing for New Yorkers to walk around. I've walked past that place many times. when I was there. Security is going to be tight at MSG for tonight's Knicks game. See, like, who posts that? Is it to make me feel safe? I would not, if I saw that and I went to the game, I would not feel safe. Why are you telling me this? Just do your job. And you don't have to tell me what you're doing. You know? It's just everything they tell us. I'm like, why? No bags allowed. Leave your purses and backpacks at home. 0 storage space. The venue will not hold prohibited items for you. What are prohibited items? You'll be forced to throw them away or leave the line. TSA level checks. Expect thorough screenings at every single checkpoint. Arrive super early. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and officials urge fans to be there at least 2 hours before the 8:30 p.m. tip-off to make it to your seat on time. Wow, sounds like fun. No. And then there are live games are weird because there are commercial breaks that they have to take, but you don't see the commercials. You're just sitting there, not watching basketball. Okay. You can expect 7th Avenue and 8th Avenue to completely shut down to regular vehicular and pedestrian traffic starting right at 4 p.m. So why do they need to be there 2 hours earlier if the streets around them are shut down? So if there's like nobody in that vicinity, I mean, maybe it's just they're accounting for all the people going into the stadium. I don't know. Sometimes I've thought recently a lot about consent and how when we buy a product, we're consenting to it. So when I bought Domino's, I'm consenting to it. But so it's like these little small agreements or things that we consent to. And the fact that they're asking people to do all of these things, then people are just like, okay. And it's just like consenting to something like, yeah, you tell me to be there 2 hours earlier. For what reason? You're consenting to that. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Then I wanted to watch this one. Let's see. So it's Our Sports Rigged.
First, we have a clip of John Cena, who's a WWE wrestler, which is known for fake wrestling.
Why did ESPN get a host from the WWE? I mean, it's rigged. Did I just spoil the surprise for some of the people? It's scripted entertainment. What we do is fake, right? So I know what you're thinking. Me hosting the ESPYs, that's crazy. Or is it genius? It's time to take a look at yourself, sports, and realize that you're more like the WWE than you have ever imagined.
Second piece of evidence is this clip from David Blaine.
It makes me mad that they use comedy and humor to tell their plans and their lies. And I'm like, that is a shame to true comedy and true humor. Don't use it for your dirty little lies.
Who's a magician. Magicians are masters of illusion. Even though it appears to be real, their magic tricks are really not real.
Baron Davis can make a shot from anywhere on the court. Is it magic or is it magnets? Tiny magnets placed on the ball, ensuring a strong attraction to the metal rim. Watch. Don't believe me? Watch the NBA playoffs and you'll see there's really no other explanation.
Third piece of...
So that's just like truth in plain sight. What they did right there. It's still using comedy and humor in a way. And parody.
of evidence. Is the NFL using magnetic gloves?
Here it is, 100% proof the NFL is rigged, and they use magnetic gloves and magnetic balls to make these one-handed catches. I told you so.
Hi, I'm Colin Loeffler with the Minnesota Vikings, and this is the Ultimate Reception. Now every kid can catch like a pro. Come take a look.
Ultimate Reception is the most innovative youth sports entertainment product in years. Players using an Ultimate Reception football and gloves are so effective they are not allowed in any high school or NCAA football game. This product is strictly for youth and athletes who want to catch like a pro every time. Ultimate Reception features a patent-pending magnetic grip system that literally makes the ball stick to your hand. And with the smallest, strongest magnets in the world on your side, it usually only takes one hand.
Let's see what sort of excuses the fanboys come up with for this one. All the fanboys that told me I was crazy. What's up now?
Why would they do this? Have you ever heard of sports gambling? Sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Money.
And if you already know the outcome of the games before they even start, you can make a lot of money. So what do you think? Are sports rigged? 3 pieces of evidence.
Yeah, so that, I watched a video yesterday where it said every year a new Toy Story movie comes out, a certain hockey team wins the NHL Stanley Cup. Screen share. Toy Story Stanley Cup. No. Wow, now everything is Stanley Cup. Why is that weird to me? Stanley Cups just came out of nowhere. That's why I didn't trust it. And then, now that I know they're attached to not just Toy Story, but sports, overall, and weird stuff, symbolism, and okay, let's see. Search. How do I get to search? Oh my God. Okay. Go, search. Is it not searching? It's not searching. Okay, let's see.
Between the Colorado Avalanche and the Toy Story franchise, and nobody is talking about it. November 22nd, 1995, the first Toy Story movie releases. Later that year, the Colorado Avalanche, playing in their inaugural season since moving from Quebec, win their first Stanley Cup. Now it's November of 1999. Toy Story 2 releases. Not even 15 months later, the Colorado Avalanche go on to win their second Stanley Cup in 5 years. Fast forward to June 17, 2022, Lightyear, a Toy Story spinoff, releases. Not even 9 days later, the Colorado Avalanche go on to win their third Stanley Cup. 9 whole days. And you expect me to believe the Colorado Avalanche times Mr. Potato Head collab is a coincidence? And of course, there's this. June of this year, Toy Story 5 is released. The Colorado Avalanche go on to win the Stanley Cup this year. It is beyond coincidence. It is a trend. Colorado, you do not have a friend in me. I don't know how you're doing it, but I'm gonna find out. There is an alarming connection between the Colorado Avalanche
Okay, so I guess this is satire. The amount of people not understanding this is satire is alarming. So, because I heard this, and I think I told people, but that's why everyone should always fact check, right? So I guess it skipped a couple, 3 and 4. Okay, I stand on what I said. That sports are rigged. There was a thread that I saved. Okay, here. What the hell? Threads. Okay, hold up. Jeez. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is after the Knicks loss, I believe. I actually don't know. Or not Knicks. The Spurs loss. No, the Knicks loss. Okay, so this says, let me first say, dude, you should have took that jersey off walking by yourself in front of those people. But with that being said, everybody that put hands on that man should be locked up for a long time. I don't even want to put on the volume because I don't like watching these videos. People are like kicking him, stomping him. What the fuck? That is insane. People are following him. How the hell? Oh my god. How the hell did he survive that, honestly? Like, oh my god. Like, he was walking fine, and then somebody, like, pushed him, and he's like, oh fuck, I gotta get out of here, and he started running, and then people jumped him. What the hell? And even to the person who wrote that thread and was like, let me say, dude, you should have took that jersey off walking by yourself in front of those people. Why would we have to do that? We have to take a shirt off to walk through a group of people. How fucking old are we? What are we doing? I have to take off a shirt? You can't handle. You're so fucked up in the mind. You cannot handle somebody wearing a shirt. A specific shirt. That's mental illness. That is straight up mental illness for you to circle around and stomp on people. That's a mental illness. You don't even know this dude. But you hate him because he's a fan of the San Antonio Spurs. God, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, that's not how I want to spend any night of my life. Is just being on the sidewalk stalking people who are different than me. Stalking people who are wearing a different shirt than me. Oh my God. Exhausting. That's all disgusting. I hate watching videos like that of people getting jumped because honestly, how did that guy survive? Like, at the end of it all, he survived. and I don't know. You know, who knows what happened after that. And he should, I'm sorry, he should sue somebody. Whether it's a person there, whether it's police, like not having security, MSG not having security. Like, I know I just talked about them saying Secret Service level security. But just don't tell us about the security. Have the security, you don't have to market it. So, I mean, sports has done a number on us. It's disgusting. And I met some people who were like from Texas and for San Antonio, and okay, do your thing. But since I've been to New York a couple times and I know a few people from there, the Knicks fans, not to segregate, are annoying. They're annoying. So I don't want them to win because they're annoying. And also look at them. I just think of like, you know, half the series being in New York. New York doesn't deserve any more big sporting events. Any city who destroys the city, who goes after people of the other team, you're grounded. You're grounded. You don't get to have anybody over anymore, okay? If you want to go somewhere, you're going to be going to someone else's place, and you're going to be under their rules. And they will hold you to those rules. And if you get in trouble, you get in trouble. That's what New York needs. A good grounding. I don't know if what I just said was bad. I watched a 9/11 documentary, part of it, last night, and so I think, you know, in terms of if they were being a bad kid, they deserve a good go to your room type of thing. Yeah, that should be the rule. If you're not good, if you're not respectful in your city, nobody's coming to you anymore. Right? Okay. So I just want to show this. It says, this is one of the comments that I read on here. Said, as a biologist, the behavior of sports fans is fascinating because it is one of the clearest examples of how present human tribalism is in our society still. In addition, this is also one of the reasons why I do not like sports, because it makes people act like idiots. Yeah, he shouldn't have to take it off, though. This is basketball. Two teams play there. There should be two different fan bases without one resorting to this level of violence over who they were rooting for. This is nasty work. Yep. This is the same energy as blaming rape on the victim because of what they're wearing. Yeah. Why the fuck does he need to take his jersey off? He wasn't doing shit, but walking, what the fuck's wrong with honestly, respect to that guy. Refuses to take the jersey off and squares up against like 15 people. Exactly. He survived it. Like, this is why NY does not deserve to win. I wish people got this worked up about shit that actually matters. And that, the reason, there was another video that I saw, and this guy was showing, this creator was showing, you know, the crowds of people in the streets of New York, and he's like, we are coming together, we just need to change our direction of energy. And I'm like, the same energy that is given to the government, or, you know, to be a patriot or whatever you want to call it, is not the same energy as someone putting it into sports. It's a different type of energy. One is, I don't know, blinded, blissful ignorance energy, versus another one that like actually wants truth. They're two different kinds of energies. So I just don't believe people when they're like, see how much you're rooting for this? You could be doing this. And it's like, but there's another level that I think people have to get to. And sports just keeps you locked in. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I enjoy one more. I enjoy the truth more. But, yeah, I mean, people can do what they want to do. Because as soon as I judge someone for doing that, being distracted or whatever, then I go and buy Domino's. You know, I'm not perfect. Okay, Domino's is... I'd like to go to a local place. Like I've talked about many times, of like just buying local. So it's like I'm not perfect either, but I think the energy first needs to go to ourselves before we try to take down the government. We have to see ourselves clearly. That's how. We need to see ourselves clearly and see each other clearly, in that even though I may be wearing this hat and you don't like orange hats because mental illness, unless we come to a place where you can accept that I wear this orange hat, and I'm not saying it's a purple hat, okay? It's an orange hat, because that is the truth of it, okay? Once you can accept that, then we can go fight some government. But, you know, it's like we show up to the riots or to the you know, revolution. We show up together, and then some people wearing Spurs jerseys, some people wearing Knicks jerseys, some people wearing American flag shirts, and everybody's like, hey, I don't like that. And then we all brawl. That's what would happen. Guys, we're not ready. We're actually not ready to fight the government. No, because we're still doing dumb shit like this. Anyway, that's my NBA Finals, Knicks versus Spurs little session. Yeah. Alright, well, I was going to talk about aging. And you know, I think I talk about a lot of things on these lives, Hold up. But I think they all go back to truth. Delaney, you can back me up on this, because I don't know the Bible like that, but like I can infer on the Bible and the truth of that. Aging. No, I think, well, Delaney and I, my sister, were talking last night, and Ty, and we were talking about the veil. The veil was not there thousands of years ago. Like, you could see truth more clearly, but now the veil has been put over our eyes over and over and over, thickening. And so it's like we're further from the truth. And so when I think about aging, I was talking with a woman the other day, and she's like, I'm about to turn 50. I can't believe I'm about to turn 50. And to me, I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because you say you're 50. And I say birthdays are a good time to reflect. But defining yourself by your age, when people ever say, like, too old, too young. I know there are different ways that these can be used, but when they call themselves old, or I'm too old to do that, or why don't you see these like 80-year-old grandmas like doing gymnastics and stuff, lifting weights? And that's just one thing. That's just fitness. But people take their age and they just kind of define it by what they've been taught. And I watch the show Modern Family, and it's really funny, but there are a lot. It's just, there are so many storylines and plot lines about being too old to do something, or thinking about what other people thought. And they usually have a good lesson at the end, but it's just these people think so much about, what other people think. And I just can see how that can seep into our own lives. Of like, no, I can't text him. Then it's getting anxious about like talking to somebody, or no, I can't tell them I don't like their shirt. No, I can't tell them I blah blah blah. These aren't great examples, but I think even shows like that kind of make us think that that is how life is supposed to be. I mean, it's Modern Family. It's 3 families who live in California and are well off. Very funny. Honestly, I don't even have that much on age. It's just like, why do we continue to define ourselves by our age? When I tell people that I'm 35 and I'm be 36 in a month, when I tell people that, they're shocked. They're like, you look like you're in your 20s. You could have said, a woman said the other night, she said, if you would have said 21, I would have believed you. I'm like, thanks. Thank you. It is nice, it's nice that youthful or whatever it is, but I feel like I try to have a youthful spirit. Like, I try to have fun. I try to laugh. I watch so much comedy. I wonder if that has anything to do with it, but I'm not always like super happy, you know. Sometimes I get anxious or whatever, but and there are some things I don't feel like doing anymore, like going out and partying like I used to in college. I don't want to do that anymore. So it's like being youthful, having a youthful spirit is different than like, oh, what did the kids in college do? They drink and they party. It's different. Okay. So yeah, maybe just like don't fall, and I don't wear makeup. Delaney. Okay. Oh yeah, Delaney. We were talking about what I was going to talk about today, and I was like, I don't know. And then Delaney. So I made a video the other day. I was thinking about community and how community is like so big nowadays. Like you have school, the online community platform. You just have people who sell courses on how to build a community and all these things. And they're for these niche things, right? Like they can be a community for manifestation, for abundance, for fixing cars, like for podcast editors, like whatever it is. And if you think about how our community was before, in simpler times, it was our neighbors, it was our family, and we were kind of forced to be with them. And we were forced to get help from one another. And when you're forced to do that, you find ways to get along, right? You find ways to love somebody and to appreciate somebody and to hold boundaries with somebody. Because I think it's still possible to hold boundaries, you know, even if you're in this place where you have no other options. But we learned to love each other. We learned to ask for help. We learned to, you know, just get along. And then now, because community, a lot of it is online. A lot of it is just based on basic interests. It's not based on location, region, which I think is important. It's not based on, you know, I mean, in person. And it's not based on your, on family. Who, you know, my mom is always going to have a more special place in my heart than a stranger, and I'm lucky to say that. So there is that connection, and we don't have that anymore because it's just community. It's just this kind of fake online community. And not saying that you can't, you know, do in person and build community outside of that. You know, meet someone in the online community and establish a relationship and stuff. But it sucks when something is like all online and you'll never meet that person, and you know, it's just been, yeah, there's no real energetic connection. Maybe there is, in a way, but it's different. And so all I have to say for that is it's just sad, I guess. You know, families used to stay home and, you know, make their own food, have their own livestock, have their own... They just were sustainable, and they were surviving. Oh, there's a fucking spider over there. Okay, I'm fine. We were forced to collaborate with the pool around us for survival. Neighbors, family, even the animals. We were self-sustaining, and no matter the difference, everyone had one mission. Yeah. Everyone did have one mission. And I think that even goes into, like, purpose. Rika's purpose now has been, okay, to survive and sustain and have a good time with my family. Now my purpose is to go be an actor. My purpose is now to go be on Wall Street. My purpose is now to be a singer. And what that purpose does is maybe it's like changes the world, right? It's like, okay, these big singers, they've changed the world by their music, and I mean, who is that big and made it alone, if you know what I'm saying? But, you know, okay, yes, you sacrifice to have that one big goal, and have that one purpose that's going to change the world, and possibly even your family's life, you know? But that's different than just staying with your family and connecting with them and staying with your true community and neighborhood. And today, as soon as you have a different opinion, you're outed. We only tolerate people who think it's exactly the same as us, losing out on a lot of personal growth and relationships because of that. 100%. And I was talking to a guy the other day, and I absolutely love this story. He was at a restaurant I work at. And I said, "Are we your first stop today?" I think it was a Sunday. He's like, "Are we your first stop today?" And he's like, "No, I went and had breakfast with my mom." She's like 94 or something like that. My mom, and I'm the youngest of 12 siblings, I believe. And he's like, every Sunday we all go to her house, and she used to cook, but she can't anymore. So they take turns, they rotate, and they cook breakfast, brunch for all of them every Sunday. And I said, that is amazing. That, first of all 12 siblings are, you know, close and can do that every Sunday, that people are willing to, you know, rotate and cook for their family. And I told him that this exact idea that I'm sharing of, that's so interesting because community has turned into this other thing, whereas, you know, you are practicing true community. And, you know, I said something, you know, politics, like what, no matter, it said these new communities are very fringe, or they're like, you know, politics, like whatever side you're on, that's your community. And he said he's on one side and the rest of his family's on the other side. And so he's like, you know, I'm the only one, sometimes I can't stand him. And I'm like, that's okay, but you go, you've made a commitment. And it was just beautiful. I was just like, I'm so happy to hear that happens. And he's probably in his 60s, late 60s, he's retired. And I just thought that was so cool. And you know, Delaney, you said as soon as you have a different opinion, you're outed. Sometimes these groups, communities, will make you hate the people. So if your whole family has an opinion and you have this other one opinion, because I've been in that position, then I will excuse myself. And it's not even a boundary. It's like, okay, I can't talk to you anymore, so because we have different political opinions. And we like exile ourselves from our family. And that's what these groups tell us to do. That's what manipulators tell people to do. Oh, well, your family just doesn't understand. Oh, well, yeah, you should get out of there. Like, they don't deserve you. All this other stuff. And so now you have no community. So now you go, you're in that community, you exile yourself, and then when you misstep, when you do something wrong, because that community will tell you what's right and wrong and changes it every second of every day, and it's based on random people's opinions, then you could lose your whole community by one misstep, by one innocent thing, by one questioning things. You could lose that whole community. Because I've been there. But I am lucky the fact that I can go to my family and they still love me, they still accept me. And we can talk about stuff. And it's not that I'm the odd one out anymore, because I felt like I came to my senses. But that's why we have to be careful, because these communities these groups, they don't need you to survive. Right, like, whether you're there or not, they're still gonna do their thing. They're still gonna eat. They just like to control. They like to control. Not all of them. But it's important to know which ones who do. So, okay. Well, that's it, I think. That's it. Fake love is being in community that can exile you as fast as you start to think differently. Real love changes people no matter the differences. For sure. Shout out that Drake. I can see that they got love for me. What is it? I got people straight. Fake love for me. Not to necessarily shout out Drake. But that song, for real, I felt it. When you have expectations for someone and they don't meet those expectations, and you can't love them and accept them anyway, they're not the problem. It's because you actually didn't love them. And this is not to go against values. I'm not saying that if you don't accept that everything this person does is okay, then you're the bad person. It's not that at all. It's if this person is doing nothing wrong, nothing that's going against truth, like, it's really hard. Like, I think about a lot of friends, and friend breakups, they never prepare you for friend breakups. It's always like romantic, and it's like, it's not me, it's you. And that's so easy to do in romantic relationships. Like, I'm just not attracted, or I'm just like so busy. But sometimes I've had to be like, I'm not accepting any friends right now. or like, just breaking up with a friend is hard, and I've had some, backlash. But at the end of the day, I'm not breaking a truth. I may be breaking someone's expectations. I may be breaking someone's heart. I may be hurting someone's feelings, but it doesn't go against truth. And it's like, if it doesn't do that, then it's just something you're gonna have to get over. But alright, I think that's it. Just that Knicks brawl is just really disgusting. Okay, I just want to show you one more thing. So, did you guys see Morgan Wallen was like handed a phone by the security guard? A fan gave the security guard a phone. And he knew what was going to happen, and he stood around, and then he threw the phone. Okay, people were saying, this is just sad. Everything I've learned about this man has been against my will, and everything I see makes me hate him even more. How does this fuck-ass still have fans? I genuinely have no idea why anyone supports this man, music aside, though I think his music sucks, and I actually like country music. I've never seen a video of him not being an asshole. I don't know who this Morgan Wallen is. But that's kind of crazy to do. Throw somebody's phone. I have no thoughts, because I don't know what's going through his head, and that's not making an excuse for him or anything. I just it's just wild. It's just like, don't give your phone away. Like, I'm not trying to victim blame here at all, but just like, I don't think I would feel safe doing that. At best, you get a video of Morgan Wallen on your phone. That's what you want. Just flip it around and just take a video of him right there. Just don't give away your phones. Alright, well, great chatting with you guys. Alright, see you guys next time.